As soon as his eyes closed and opened, he transformed from a young man into a little old man over 50 years old. Just because my name is Yuan Fei, you can't let me become the Monkey Flying Sun Slash. And the rapid wind not only brings sacrifices to heaven, but also has 3 generations, but since I've worn it for 3 generations, let me change this inevitable ending. Ape Flying Sun Slash picked up his smoking gun and looked down. After all, I am the Hokage. The heavens, the world dominated by fire shadows. Blade of ghost destruction, death god fire shadow pirate, hunter, food, Dragon Ball, Jojojo, fist wish, blade teeth. Zudianliu boutique author, with a high rating of over 10,000, feel free to enter the pit. Keywords of the novel. Journey through 3 generations. At the beginning, I became popular and you regretted it without a pop-up window. Journey through 3 generations. At the beginning, I became popular and you regretted it. Download the full text. Journey through 3 generations. At the beginning, I became popular and you regretted it. Read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Starting from the 3rd generation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 starting from the 3rd generation, 3 generations of adults. The dark side half knelt on the ground, cautiously reminding. After he arrived at the office to report the task, the dark side had been kneeling here for more than 10 minutes. But the 3 generations of Hokage in front of me seemed to be wandering in the sky, with a hazy gaze that could not come back to my senses for a long time. Originally, with the patience of the dark side, there would be no complaints even after waiting for half a day. But it seems that the current 3 generations of adults are not in the right state. 3 generations of adults. The dark side called out again, at this moment, it seems that the 3 generations have finally come to their senses. A glimmer of light flickered in his eyes as he scrutinized the things in front of him. A spacious office, a mountain of scrolls piled up, and a fire shadow imprint placed on the table. All right. 3 generations waved their hands and their expressions remained unchanged. You go down first. Upon hearing this, the dark side hesitated to speak. He wanted to say, 3rd generation lord, you haven't listened to my mission report yet. However, out of reverence for the Hokage, who had been in office and in power for the longest time, the dark side ultimately did not say much. Just quietly placing the task scroll in his hand on the Hokage desk, bowing to the 3rd generation in front of him, he silently left the spot. After seeing the departure of the dark side, the 3 generations seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, and the imposing power of the fiery shadow that had just emerged suddenly relaxed. Instead, it carries a hint of youthful detachment and curiosity. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash first surveyed the surroundings, then he looked at the familiar yet unfamiliar cigarette stick in his hand and took a puff according to his body's instincts. Who, after growing a mouthful of smoke, as the sensation of nicotine spread in his lungs, the surging memories in Monkey Flying Sun's mind were slightly calmed down. Others' travels are all dressed as Yenzu. Ting Feng, how did you get to me? I'm just an old man in his 50s. Yuan Fei, who came from another world, let out a sigh. The strongest fire shadow in legend. The Monkey Flying Sun slashed the corners of his mouth and a hint of self-deprecating laughter appeared, but it's destined to die within the storyline. However, take it as it comes. In an instant, Ape Flying Sun Slash accepted the fact that he had traveled through 3 generations of Hokage. After all, fortunately, we didn't cross the timeline at the beginning of the rapid wind, which advanced us by many years. The old man who has become pure through time, not to mention, when faced with the flourishing Orochimaru, is really calling the heavens not the earth inauspicious. Unfortunately, Orochimaru has already defected. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash searches for memories in its mind. Not long ago, Ape Flying Sun Slash released Orochimaru and listed him as a traitor. That is to say, the path of revenge for Orochimaru has already begun, and even if Ape Flying Sun Slash wants to save Orochimaru, with Orochimaru's hiding ability, it cannot be found. Thinking of this, Monkey Flying Sun Slash couldn't help but take another puff at the old-fashioned smoking gun. The instinct of smoking in this body has been integrated into the subconscious, and even if a soul is changed, it is difficult to erase. I can only say that I am truly a ninja. Even a body that is starting to age is terrifyingly strong. Monkey Flying Sun Slash felt the toxins from tobacco entering his lungs, but did not stay in his lungs like an ordinary person, but it is rapidly dissipated by a powerful energy, which is the source of ninja power. Chakra. Or rather, the strength of this body is among the best among ninjas. Ape Flying Sun Slash felt that this aging body contained enough power to crack mountains and rocks. This is a sense of expanding power that was completely imperceptible in the healthy body of Central Asia in previous lifetimes. I can only say, let's not talk about anything else. 3 generations of Hokage have at least few qualifications as ninjas. Even under the walls of a crowd of eyes, it can be considered the pinnacle of mortals. Monkey Flying Sun Slash continued to comfort himself, if there is any benefit to crossing into 3 generations, besides being happy to be a father, it is the strength of a solid shadow. The current timeline is still more than a decade before the start of the storm, and Monkey Flying Sun Slash still has the opportunity to change the situation. Fortunately, I'm not without cheats either. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash softly called out in his heart, system. Host. Monkey Flying Sun Slash, current world. 4-star world. Naruto. Space-time source energy. 1350 world imprint. None. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the rudimentary system in front of him and involuntarily took another puff of smoke, after the smoke, there is a question of the monkey flying and the sun cutting. Let's introduce the system. What functions do they all have? The answer to Ape Flying Sun Slash is not in words, but in some form of stream of consciousness, transmitted to Ape Flying Sun Slash's brain. The functionality of the system may not be powerful, but simplicity is indeed very simple. The main function of the entire system is to collect temporal and spatial energy sources, and then allow Ape Flying Sun Slash to travel to other worlds. Other worlds. Monkey Flying Sun nodded and was quite satisfied. Although the system cannot directly strengthen its power, crossing the world is the biggest obstacle. After all, there are countless adventures and opportunities in all worlds, and even a little bit can make him ravage food in the world of Hokage. The way the system collects spatiotemporal energy is by erasing or altering spatiotemporal nodes. It may not be easy to understand that it is a spatiotemporal node. If it were the plot characters of every world, it would be very easy to understand. In the system settings, as long as you kill or change the trajectory of the plot characters, you can change the spatiotemporal nodes and obtain spatiotemporal source energy. It's quite simple. The monkey flew and the sun chopped its heart, and it became clear to me, so even if I give up the Ape Flying Sun Slash in return for the existing temporal and spatial energy sources. After receiving a positive response from the system, Ape Flying Sun nodded. From the moment he relinquished the original 3 generations, the trajectory of the 3 generations had already been completely changed. There is almost no difference between killing 3 generations themselves. The 3 generations themselves are also important supporting role. How can they get more than 1,000 sources of energy? The Monkey Flying Sun Slash couldn't help but have some doubts. Is this system just a superficial system from the beginning? In the information flow transmitted by the system, the space-time source energy of an important supporting role in a 4-star world is at least more than 3,000. But here in the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, there are only less than half. The answer sent by the system immediately satisfied Ape Flying Sun Slayer slightly. There is also a cost to the Monkey Flying Sun Slash without any sequelae. Indeed, it would be unrealistic to compare the will of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, which was originally in a peaceful era, with the will of the 3 generations to kill people. And it was the system that helped bear the cost, allowing Ape Flying Sun Slash to perfectly seize 3 generations. Not only has it completely inherited its strength memory, but it has not been much influenced by its original form. Just as Ape Flying Sun Slash wanted to delve deeper into the functionality of the system. Bang! Suddenly, a sound of pushing the door rang out, piercing the ears in the quiet Hokage office. The new book set sail, seeking to follow up. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. My Fire, You Regret. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. My Fire, You Regret. The eyebrows of the monkey Flying Sun Slash instantly furrowed, and a calm and self-imposing aura emerged. Perfectly blending the experiences of 3 generations, Ape Flying Sun Slash also possesses the majesty of a fiery shadow. Apes Flying. I saw an old man with a sinister aura leaning on a crutch as he entered, showing no respect for Hokage. Why let Kakashi evacuate the roots? The person who spoke was questioning, and Ape Flying Sun Slash hardly needed to look up to know the identity of the guy across from him. Jitsuan Tuanzang. The one-eyed old man slowly walked in, also carrying the power of long-term dominance. You should know that with Kakashi's qualifications, only in Jitsuan Tuanzang. At this moment, the monkey Flying Sun Slash has changed its soul and is no longer the nostalgic and heartless 3 generations it used to be. Instead, there are Blue Star guests who have no favorable impression of Tuanzang. I am the Hokage. Ape Flying Sun Slash's expression was indifferent, and he interrupted Tuanzang's next questioning directly. He didn't want to circle with Jitsuan Tuanzang at all, but went straight to the topic. Jitsuan Tuanzang was also a bit stunned for a moment. Looking at the indifferent appearance of the monkey Flying Sun Slash in front of him, he suddenly felt a bit unfamiliar. It feels like today's monkey Flying Sun Slash has made a slight difference. At least if such scenes were to occur in the past, Ape Flying Sun Slash would at least explain and tug at Shimura Tuanzang, and finally come to the classic theme of, I fire you regret. Humph! Immediately after, Jitsuan Tuanzang's face dripped out with a gloomy expression. Over the years, 3 generations of indulgence towards him had made him lose any reverence for this fire shadow. You will regret it. Apes fly. Jitsuan Tuanzang seemed to have thought of something, and a clear killing intent flashed through his eyes. Without hesitation, he turned around and left the Hokage office. But Jitsuan Tuanzang also did not see the naked killing intent brewing in the depths of Ape Flying Sun's eyes. Jitsuan Tuanzang. Guaying, the monkey Flying Sun Slash's heart flashed with a thick gloom. Jitsuan Tuanzang, as the king of trouble in the Kiba F4, is basically responsible for all the bad things inside Kiba. So the monkey Flying Sun Slayer, who knows the plot, naturally wants to kill this guy first. After all, keeping this guy not only has no effect, but also brings a lot of hatred to Mu Yi. You can also obtain a considerable amount of source energy. Monkey Flying Sun Slash suddenly seemed to have thought of something and flipped open the scroll left by the dark side just now. It is prominently written above that the daimyo of the Fire Kingdom has agreed to take over the position of the Fire Shadow again with the monkey Flying Sun Slash, and only needs to go to the capital of the Fire Kingdom to meet him once in 3 days. According to the process of assuming the position of Huiying, the newly appointed Huiying needs to obtain the consent and authorization of daimyo. Although it is a process, daimyos generally do not oppose or intervene in the selection of Huiying candidates, but it is a necessary process to follow. Only in this way can the unique status of the Fire Kingdom be demonstrated. That is to say, in 3 days, Tuanzang will assassinate me on my way to the capital city of the Fire Kingdom. The appearance of the monkey Flying Sun slaying is intriguing, recalling the plot of the skillful coordination between the Lying Dragon and Phoenix Chicks. Still trying to win over Kakashi. Let them assassinate me together. I can only say that I am truly the Phoenix Chick among the Lying Dragons and Phoenixes. The monkey Flying Sun Slash simply admires this one-eyed little cutie. This kind of assassination with a low success rate and exceptionally foolish behavior can be done. Leaving aside the actual strength of the monkey Flying Sun Slayer, although his chakra and body skills have slightly degraded after his 50s, his experience in the 5-dun ninjutsu has become increasingly profound. 3 ninja tactical teams couldn't come together and wanted to assassinate Ichimura Shadows. But I don't have much qualification to say that Jitsuan Tuanzang. Originally, as the 3rd generation of Wulong, they were even more intelligent. After being assassinated by Tuanzang, he regained his understanding of Tuanzang. Not even a decent punishment, the thought of this original body's behavior made Monkey Flying Sun Slash feel a bit bitter. It can only be said that they are a perfect match for Guiying, with respect and blessings. Fortunately, he is now a brand new Monkey Flying Sun Slayer, and naturally will not engage in such behavior of lowering intelligence again. This guy Tuanzang can't even stand the stage. I don't think even the writing will eyes and Mu Dun have been transplanted yet. Nature allows me to twist and flatten. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash did not pay much attention to this pot of shadows, compared to the troubles that followed, such as Orochimaru, Uchiha, and Otakuni. Shimura Tanzan is a bit too narrow-minded. Unique variable. But if Tuanzang were to fight back and take me away, it would be funny. He wouldn't let Tuanzang go lightly like his original self. If he wanted to kill Ape Flying Sun, he naturally wanted to kill his entire family. Monkey Flying Sun Slash once again turned his gaze towards the system, so we still need to have a hang-up test first to try it out. Fire escape. Extinguishing the Great Fire. A huge fireball with a diameter of tens of meters was swallowed by the Monkey Flying Sun, instantly devouring a large area of trees. Under the intense high-temperature baking of chakra, most of the forest in front of me was instantly burned dry. Is this the power of ninjutsu? Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the trees in front of him with a hint of surprise. Having gained extraordinary power, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash is naturally eager to experience it. It can also be considered to familiarize oneself with the strength of the original body. The incendiary bombs in my past life were nothing more than that. For ordinary people, it's almost a massacre effect. That's what it means to be extraordinary. Undoubtedly praised as the Hokage of a 4-star world, its chakra power system has unique advantages. The most common and even indestructible fire escape technique in this original work, which was unleashed by the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, is almost exaggerated. A continuous bombing comparable to several incendiary bombs. The temperature in the flame can even reach thousands of degrees Celsius under the skillful changes in the fire escape properties of the Monkey Flying Sun Slayer. It's not something that a physical fetus can resist. So get rid of the fire escape. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash followed the instinct in memory, and its hands flew like lightning, instantly forming a seal. Wind escape. Great breakthrough. Tuduan, Tuliu River. Shui Dun, water slug. Lei Dun, let's go. Bang. Bang. Sting. The smoke from the aftermath of ninjutsu dissipated. Looking at the forest, which was in a mess with ravines and almost completely altered terrain, Ape Flying Sun nodded in satisfaction. You are truly a ninja doctor. Almost all of the 5 attributes escape techniques have reached the limits of property and form changes. As long as the 5-dun ninjutsu is used in my hand, it will not have power lower than level B. Not to mention physical and hallucinatory techniques, I am now standing at the pinnacle of ordinary ninjas as well. Ape Flying Sun Slash examines the strength of the original 3 generations from a more strategic perspective. And Ape Flying Sun Slash felt the surging chakra inside his body, even though he had used 5 levels of B and a ninjutsu consecutively. His chakra count did not show a significant downward trend. The new book of 2023 sets sail, seeking to follow up, everyone, end of this chapter. Chapter 3. 3 Generations of Chajinla Level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 3 Generations of Chajinla Level. The current 3 generations are not as old and lacking in blue as they will be in later generations. At least at the level of Chajinla, with a blue volume far exceeding that of Chimu Kakashi, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash estimated its current strength, which is temporarily sufficient to deal with most situations. He could already imagine that the third generation of young people could easily come up with various advanced ninjutsu techniques on the battlefield, and chakra was as deep as a war fortress, like a scene of slaughter for ordinary ninjas. For ninjas, the age of just over 50 happens to be the relative peak period. At this point, there is no significant decrease in physical strength and chakra, while ninjutsu and combat experience have reached a fully mature and spicy state. Capable of dealing with enemies at any level, just like the three ninjas of the later period of rapid wins. So the current three generations are definitely the top players in the ninja world. Although in front of strong opponents of the same level, it may not be advantageous because there is no special blood-stained secret technique. However, the ever-changing combat methods and the vast knowledge of ninjutsu, like a sea, can also help drivers break through in battles of the same level. Being able to give birth to and kill Orochimaru is not just a joke. Ape Flying Sun Slash is satisfied with the combat power of his current body, but also understands the principle of being prepared for danger in times of peace. Unfortunately, this body's peak period won't last for many years. At most 2 years. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the signs of aging on his palm, as well as the gap between his peak and Shukreliang, and felt a sense of awe in his heart. Even shorter. I will become the bear that can only die with my disciple. Monkey Flying Sun Slash knew in his heart that even the closest threat would be the arrival of Orochimaru at least a decade later, but there is one thing that urgently needs to be resolved by Monkey Flying Sun Slash as soon as possible. That's the issue of lifespan. The sense of difference from a young man in his 20s to an old man in his 50s goes without saying. If the issue of lifespan is not solved, Ape Flying Sun Slash may not even survive the 4 battles of the ninja realm, and will have to live and die. In fact, there are still many ways in the ninja world that can solve the problem of lifespan. Monkey Flying Sun Slash recalled the plot in his heart, for example, the secret technique of the undead duo, the immortal technique, or perhaps the fruit of the divine tree. But in the end, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash shook its head. These methods of longevity are difficult to replicate, and they all have varying degrees of limitations and side effects. With the endorsement of the heavens and worlds, there's no need to limit your gaze to the ninja world. Monkey Flying Sun Slash asked in his heart, System, my current spatio-temporal source energy, what level of world can one traverse? The system replied, a source of 1,000 points is enough to travel through the world of 2 stars. That is to say, a world where one has initially explored the extraordinary, but is not yet widespread. And the world where extraordinary powers like Naruto run rampant, with the strongest capable of crossing the starry sky and relocating mountains and filling the sea, is the 4-star world. Its intensity is already quite high, and even the top experts say it's a humanoid self-propelled nuclear bomb. Unfortunately, I am far from reaching this level. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash had a hint of longing in his expression. That kind of level is exclusive to the bloodline of the Big Barrel Wood. In theory, I have reached the pinnacle of almost mortals. Suddenly, a figure appeared behind Ape Flying Sun Slash and bowed, 3 generations of adults, Chimu Kakashi seeks to see you. Ape Flying Sun Slash's expression remained unchanged, and according to the original plot, Kakashi would indeed have a face-to-face encounter with the 3rd generation. Let him come over. A few young men with white hair appeared in front of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, demonstrating considerable proficiency in instant body techniques. The current Kakashi is far from the lazy uncle he will be in the future, he is still a rather inexperienced young man. 3 generations of adults. Kakashi's formal salute and admiration couldn't help but rise in his heart as he looked around him washed away by ninjutsu. I am truly a 3rd generation adult. The power of ninjutsu in changing terrain like this can be said to be quite exaggerated. At least now, Kakashi is far from reaching this level. Monkey Flying Sun Slash looked at the somewhat rigid Kakashi in front of him and felt a bit amused in his heart. Kakashi, there's no need to be too polite. Is there anything I need to do this time? There was a hint of hesitation in Chimu Kakashi's one eye, but it was immediately replaced by the determination of the will of fire. Immediately afterwards, Kakashi revealed that Tuanzang was going to lure him and assassinate him on the way to the capital city of the Fire Kingdom from the Ape Flying Sun. Is that so? I got it. Ape Flying Sun Slash nodded calmly, while capturing Kakashi's expression. I think when Tuanzai tried to win over Kakashi, he also said some bad things for 3 generations, which shook the young child's heart. Fortunately, after experiencing the sacrifices of his master and close friends, Kakashi's will to the fire has basically stabilized. There won't be too many additional ideas. Kakashi, is that eye okay? Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at Kakashi's left eye that was covered, and expressed concern in his mouth. It's okay. Kakashi lowered his head and said truthfully, the power of writing will eyes is very strong, and I cannot fully control it now. The monkey Flying Sun Slash spoke with great care and said, if you can't handle it, don't force it. Unlike white eyes, writing will eyes has never been sought after by guys from other villages. It's not without a reason. The reason why white eyes need to be controlled with a bird curse seal in a cage, besides its strategic significance, is that its control requires almost no additional cost. But it's not the people of Uchiha who control the Sharingan, not just chakra, but even the powerful Sharingan will devour their vitality. From the cost of using a kaleidoscope by the Uchiha people themselves, it is clear how difficult it is to use the Sharingan technique. All users of the kaleidoscope, except for the reincarnation of Indra, have basically no good ending. If possible, Ape Flying Sun Slash would prefer to see a thriving Kakashi without the constraints of the Sharingan. Instead of a so-called 5-5 split clone ninja. After all, according to the ninja's aptitude, Kakashi's aptitude is even higher than that of Ape Flying Sun Slash. At the age of 12, Shanren relies not on qualifications, but on practical strength. Compared to its heyday, the current state of Konoha can undoubtedly be considered a lack of support. To improve Konoha's condition and his own destiny, the monkey Flying Sun Slayer undoubtedly needs stronger assistance. And Kakashi has unparalleled talent and loyalty to the natural Hokage family, making him almost the perfect candidate for the next generation of Hokage. But the only response given to Ape Flying Sun was Kakashi's silence, or rather, firm inner thoughts. As a heritage with soil, Kakashi will not give up, even if it would sacrifice his ninja career. Kakashi is naturally an extremely intelligent ninja who has realized the high cost of using the Sharingan. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Starting Crossing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Starting Crossing. Okay. Ape Flying Sun shrugged his shoulders, and he didn't expect to persuade Kakashi through verbal evasion. From another perspective, adhering to the use of writing will eyes with soil is not necessarily a manifestation of the will of Kakashi Fire. Although the current monkey Flying Sun Slayer doesn't believe this, they still need to brainwash their subordinates. So now that we know about Jitsuan Tuanzang's conspiracy, I'll have to let you go, Kakashi. The tone of the monkey Flying Sun Slash carries a murderous aura. I will handle everything well in the village. There will be a special presence in the assassination squad at that time. You can recognize it at a glance. Bring him back with good health. Kakasidon understood that he was going to pretend to be the third-generation Hokage to attract attention. Although there are some doubts about the special guy mentioned by Ape Flying Sun Slash, Kakashi is now an extremely qualified ninja who only knows how to handle things without asking too much. Yes. Third-generation adults. Monkey Flying Sun slapped Kakashi's shoulder with a mysterious expression on his face. The task has been completed. There will be surprises for you. Kakashi looked bewildered as the monkey Flying Sun Slash was within reach. I feel in my heart that there is some unknown change in the current 3 generations, but I cannot express it. It seems that have the mentality of 3 generations of adults become younger. Kakashi described the changes of 3 generations in his heart, feeling a slight sense of discord. But these 3 generations of adults, it seems more approachable. After assigning Kakashi's task, facing the empty space in front of him, Ape Flying Sun's expression sank again. In just a few days, he will face his first crisis since crossing over, the assassination of Tuanzang. Although in the original work, I was unharmed in this assassination attempt. But this time I don't want to let go of Tuanzang's old wall lamp. Ape Flying Sun Slash squinted his eyes, with a dangerous glow in his eyes. In theory, Tuanzang's strength and influence are far inferior to mine. I still have the righteousness of the fire shadow. But with the urination of that guy Tuanzang, even if he's sentenced to death, he can't be captured without a fight. So, for the purpose of stabilizing the hand, Ape Flying Sun Slash will not completely unprepared against Tuanzang. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at his own system, in a short period of time, then the only variable is it. Without hesitation, Ape Flying Sun Slash secretly said in his heart, add more depth. Cough, the slogan is incorrect, system. Prepare to traverse. Immediately after, a hazy light from the system enveloped the Ape Flying Sun Slash, opening up a mysterious spatiotemporal mechanism. Please confirm the level of crossing the world, 2-star world. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash said without hesitation, nature requires choosing a world with extraordinary power to reap rewards. Please select the key entry for crossing the world. You can narrow down the scope of traversing the world and achieve more accurate traversal by assigning traversal entries. Note: adding a key entry to the 2-star world requires an additional 500 sources of energy. The Monkey Flying Sun frowned slightly, and this feature was not mentioned before in the system. More importantly, he currently only has over 1,300 points of temporal and spatial energy, and apart from the expenses of crossing the 2-star world, there is no extra energy to endow this crossing entry. For the first time traveling, you can get a free entry. Do you want to use? It seems to have sensed the idea of Monkey Flying Sun slaying, and the system has given the host an opportunity for free prostitution. Definitely use. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash naturally won't give up the opportunity for free prostitution. Please confirm the entry. The sound of the system has no emotional rise. Immortal life. The steady sound of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash also followed closely behind. Confirm crossing. 2-star world. Keywords. Immortality. Searching, find the world related to keywords, starting to break down world barriers. Start traversing. With the continuous sound of the system, the body of Ape Flying Sun Slayer disappeared into place. Flowers, birds, insects, and fish, green waters and green mountains. By the time Ape Flying Sun Slash regained his senses, he was already in a brand new environment. The nerves of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash instantly tense and then relax. Because the surrounding area is an ordinary forest with no trace of people. However, this cannot stop the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, who is a ninja doctor. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked around and immediately disappeared into place. Between several thrusts of chi, his figure appeared on a tree branch several tens of meters high. Amidst the interweaving of bitter nothingness with metallic threads, several sparrows on the tree were held in their hands by the Monkey Flying Sunday. Ninja Method. The art of heart separation. As a ninja doctor who is proficient in all the techniques of Konoha, it is quite normal to know the secrets of the mountain tribe. Monkey Flying Sun Slash secretly joked to himself, in fact, if it weren't for the absence of chakras in other living organisms in the world, Ape Flying Sun Slash would have a simpler and more rough perception ninja to detect the existence of living organisms. But obviously, the technique based on perceptual chakra cannot be used, and only this more complex method can be used. Immediately after, Ape Fly released these sparrows that shared a shared perspective. It seems to be an environment close to ancient times. Both plants and animals are very lush and primitive. There are no traces of extraordinary power either. As the sparrow flies, the image of the monkey flying and the sun chopping in the brain gradually enriches. This is all the food in our village. Ladies and gentlemen. There really isn't any more. In a quaint village, a group of villagers looked in awe at the warriors riding horses in front of them. It's more accurate to say that the guy in front of me is a bandit than a warrior. Not enough food. It's also possible. The leading warrior looked at the villagers in front of him with a fierce smile. Hand over the women you are hiding. I can let bygones be bygones. Otherwise. The warrior's stubble-covered face carried a murderous aura. I can only kill all of you. The villagers couldn't help but look at each other, and their expressions immediately became tense. Before these warriors arrived, they did indeed hide their own women and children, just to prevent these cruel guys from insulting their wives and children. But I didn't expect to be discovered so easily by the warrior in front of me. Seeing the villagers still hesitating, the warriors looked sharp. King. The sound of long swords unsheathed echoed one after another, but the blades of these ragged warriors were quite new, with sharp reflections. Obviously, it looks well maintained on a regular basis. In this era, only the samurai class were qualified to wield swords. This is also the confidence that samurai can widen the gap between commoners and plunder them at will. Cold weapons and empty-handed combat power are almost not of the same level. A well-trained warrior with a knife can easily knock down 7 or 8 civilians holding agricultural tools. If poor farmers do not even have the courage to resist with agricultural tools, then the 4 words, well-trained, may be removed. Follow up on reading, follow up on reading. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. The Monster Who Eats People. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. The monster who eats people. Seeing the dazzling light of the knife, the villagers' expressions were filled with fear, and even some had already shaken. After all, not everyone has a wife and children. All right. A seemingly leading figure among the villagers stepped forward, an old man with a short stature. Ladies and gentlemen warriors. Please do not use swordsmen. We hid our women and children in the deep mountains quite far away. It will take at least half a day to arrive upon arrival. Seeing the old man seeming to reveal the position of his wife and children, the villagers beside him couldn't help but become anxious. Village chief. But when swept away by the serious expression of the old man, his voice fell silent, indicating that the old man was usually a very prestigious figure. If you want adults to go in person, you may not be able to find a way. Why not let me lead the way? The old man seemed to be forced to do nothing. Let me lead the way and take all the adults over. Hee hee, hee hee, hee hee. The warrior leader holding the sword immediately sneered disdainfully. Being able to survive in this chaotic world for a long time is naturally a thoughtful person. I can't rest assured, you old thing. The swordsman's eyes twitched, but he didn't say anything about dividing his group of soldiers, because my group of wandering warriors is just over 10 people. If they were to be separated in half, it would be difficult to suppress the young people in this village. Then our brothers are waiting for you. Could you please bring those women over, old man? The warriors looked at each other at the words and laughed wildly. Only the village chief looked bitter, as if his previous plan had been exposed. But neither side saw a sparrow on the treetop, with a humanized expression emanating from its small pupils, capturing all of these scenes. Just as the warriors were dismounting and preparing to station at the village entrance, a tall figure suddenly appeared in front of a group of wandering warriors. Compared to this group of warriors with an average height of less than 1.65 meters, the physique of Ape Flying Sun Slayer, which exceeds 1.7 meters, can be said to be quite prominent. The current Monkey Flying Sun Slash has not shrunk to a smaller height of 1.6 meters. Hey! You guy! Which genre of ninja are you? The leading warrior saw that the person in front of him was tall and muscular, not like a poor commoner, but rather dressed in tight and muscular clothing, more like a ninja warrior trained by a certain school or big family. Following the leader's signal, the other warriors picked up their swords and looked at the somewhat old but powerful man in front of them with a guarded expression. In this chaotic world, every stranger has the potential to end your life. Faced with a double-digit swordsman, Ape Flying Sun Slayer paid no attention to his own danger, but instead estimated the information of this world. Are they all ordinary people's physical fitness? Look at clothing and language. It seems to be the ancient days of the Kingdom of Japan. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash analyzed lightly. Hey. You old man. I'm talking to you. The leading warrior saw that the man in front of him paid no attention to him and instead spoke in a strange accent. So he impatiently stepped forward to take down the Monkey Flying Sun Slash. Old man. These two words hit the sensitive spot of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, instantly making him start to feel unhappy. Are you talking about me? The people around did not see the action of the Monkey Flying Sun slaying, and only felt a flash in front of them. The tall man held the samurai leader's samurai sword in his hand. Before the tall man could change his arrogant expression, the sharp blade had already wiped his neck. The blood from the arteries gushed out, brushing past the Monkey Flying Sun Slash. Although strictly speaking, this was his first time killing someone, the memories of 3 generations on the battlefield left him without any discomfort. On the contrary, it made Ape Flying Sun Slash feel a bit passionate. As a ninja, killing is almost a natural instinct engraved in one's bones. Let's go. The leader is dead. Run away. Seeing their leader being so cleanly killed, the rest of the warriors were not fools, so they naturally wouldn't be foolish enough to fight against such a person. As a loose wandering samurai group, there is no idea of seeking revenge for the leader. But the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, which was easy to kill, did not mean to let these guys go. I saw Ape Flying Sun Slayer holding the blade of the warrior leader just now, his body light and agile, and all the warriors present were wiped off their necks without exception. Its speed and smooth coordination of moves are like art. Skillfully killing each person on the spot as they shuttled through their bodies. The villagers on the side stared blankly at this scene, unable to help but swallow their saliva with difficulty, looking at the majestic man with white temples in front of them in fear. This. Sir. In the end, the village chief was the most courageous, holding back his fear and thanking the Monkey Flying Sun Slayer. Thank you very much for your help. Monkey Flying Sun Slash casually dropped his samurai sword and looked at the old man in tattered clothes in front of him, asking in his mouth. Where is this? In the Warring States period, Ape Flying Sun Slash sat in a simple thatched cottage, with tea and as much food as possible in front of him. After chatting with the village chief, he has learned about the era and region here, around the 16th century AD, in the territory of Xiaori. That is to say, the Warring States period in later generations, which was praised by the Small Days. What this adult said about the Warring States period is also relevant. The current situation here is indeed quite similar to the Warring States and Seven Kingdoms period of the Tang dynasty across the shore. There are unjust wars everywhere. We are constantly being plundered by soldiers and warriors on the run. We are almost unable to survive anymore. The village chief seems to have read a book and also knows the history of the neighboring Tang dynasty. Ape Flying Sun Slash ignored the village chief's words of selling tragedy, as the shadow of the Fire Shadow world has never seen any brutal war. But constantly pondering in my mind what kind of world plot would exist during the Warring States period of childhood. If the best match is undoubtedly a monster world like Inuyasha. But when I asked the village chief, I didn't mention any traces of monsters. And if there are a lot of monsters, at least it must be a 3-star world. After chatting with the village chief for so long, Monkey Flying Sun John felt a bit dry-mouthed, so he took a sip of the tea in front of him. Speaking of what Lord just asked about monsters, the village chief suddenly mentioned the matter of the monster again. We don't really have many legends of monsters here. But there are actually monsters that eat people. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash also became interested upon hearing this, and it sounded like an extraordinary event. The village chief's expression became very solemn, or rather, cannibalistic ghosts. Recently, some women and children in the village have been eaten. That's why we hid our women and children in the deep mountains. The appearance of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash is somewhat intriguing, so it's like this: follow up on reading, follow up on reading. Thank you. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Offensive Evil Ghosts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Offensive Evil Ghosts. The village chief became interested in the Monkey Flying Sun Slash and took advantage of the heat to strike iron. If you can help us deal with the cannibalistic ghosts, sir. That's really grateful. Monkey Flying Sun Slash picked up the tea in front of him and took another sip. So, your way of expressing gratitude is to add medicine to the tea. The village chief's expression couldn't help but stagnate, trying to maintain his original expression as much as possible. This adult. What are you saying? How could I possibly put medicine in tea? Monkey Flying Sun Slash waved his hand and flipped the table in front of him. The tea and food on the table were scattered all over the ground, and his straight body exuded a majestic aura. It seems that the weak always have a lucky mentality. So let me guess. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash activated Dr. Ninja's brain, and in an instant, it approached the truth. Are you trying to dedicate me to that cannibal guy? Even those women and children are not hidden. But was it eaten? The village chief lowered his head and remained silent for a moment, then admitted with a gloomy expression, this medication should have delayed onset. It seems that you are a well-trained ninja. Undoubtedly, there were also ninjas during the Warring States period, but they were far from the ninjas in the Hokage world. At most, they were warriors who had some means of killing. As for the so-called drugs, it's strange that drugs from the mortal world can work on ninjas with chakras. To poison a shadow, one must at least be a pharmacist at the level of Qiandai Gangsho. Ape Flying Sun Slash was too lazy to correct it and asked directly. You know that cannibalistic ghost, right? Let's talk about it. The intelligence of that evil ghost. The village chief heard this but let out a strange laugh, his expression twisted and ferocious. Ha ha ha. Will you let me go if I tell you? Useless, humans cannot be opponents of evil spirits. You will come to accompany me soon. It's just a pity. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash raised its eyebrows. What a pity. Shoo. The village chief suddenly pulled out a sharp kitchen knife from under his body and, whistling in the wind, struck at the head of Ape Flying Sun Slash. Judging from his posture, it is obvious that he was also an extraordinary warrior when he was young. Kind. What? The village chief's ferocious face froze in place for a moment, as his kitchen knife hit the opponent's head, but it seemed to strike hard granite, let out a resounding symphony. Earth escape. Hardening technique. Ape Flying Sun Slash's expression remained unchanged, and the area above his neck quietly turned yellow. Bang dang. An incomprehensible extraordinary event occurred, causing the village chief to lose his resistance and the kitchen knife in his hand to slip to the ground. I got it. You're also a demon, aren't you? Don't kill me. I can provide you with blood food. I am also willing to be transformed into a demon. The village chief immediately threw himself to the ground and kept kowtowing his head, begging for mercy from the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, believing that the Monkey Flying Sun Slash was also a demon with extraordinary power. What a pity. It seems that the cannibalistic demon is a promise to transform you into a demon as well. The expression of Monkey Flying Sun slaying was tinged with a hint of pity and disgust. Then without hesitation, he slapped it with a palm, and the condensed chakra shattered its internal organs. Watching the village chief's ferocious expression as he collapsed, Ape Flying Sun Slash felt no waves in his heart. He has no sense of guilt when he kills someone who has no human nature and pushes the entire village's women and children into the abyss. Getting started too quickly, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash shook its head. I forgot to ask clearly about the hiding place of the evil ghost. However, I saw Ape Flying Sun Slash squatting down, his hands imprinted, ninja technique. Heart to body technique. This should be the hiding place, right? The so-called cannibalistic ghosts, Ape Flying Sun Slash leaped down from a tree several tens of meters high, and his powerful endurance skills allowed him to run at mechanical speed with his legs and feet. A distance of about 10 kilometers is fleeting. Looking at the terrain of the valley in front of him, Ape Flying Sun slashed his nose and shrugged. This bloody smell, it's as if a strong sense of war has taken place. The bloody smell of such a concentration, even the monkey Flying Sun Slash, has only been smelled during the brutal war. With a hint of foreboding, Ape Flying Sun Slash stepped into the valley. Sure enough, corpses were scattered everywhere and blood flowed into a river. The bodies of women and children are everywhere and incomplete. Whether it's internal organs or limbs, there are traces of being eaten by wild beasts, leaving only heads that refuse to close their eyes, with a desperate expression of death. The scene was so tragic that even Ape Flying Sun Slash, who had memories of ninja warfare, couldn't help but frown. The cannibalistic ghost, Ape Flying Sun Slash, saw the image of the evil ghost in the village chief's memory and already had some answers in his heart. When the monkey Flying Sun chopped on the sticky plasma and walked forward for a distance, he saw the figure of a gosazi lying on a corpse. The sound of chewing hard objects in large bites made people's teeth ache when they heard it. Is there food coming again? The voice of the evil ghost is no different from that of an ordinary person, only with a hint of deep greed in its tone. It seems that guy promised me the food, just a little more, a little less. The evil ghost turned around with a satisfied expression and looked towards the direction of the monkey Flying Sun Slash, a pair of blood-colored pupils that are not like humans, with sharp teeth all over the mouth, and dark red blood stains on the face. The combined deterrent power of these cruel elements is enough to make ordinary people instantly lose their resistance. An Ape Flying Sun Slash also looked at the evil ghost in front of him with a scrutinizing gaze, as it completely disconnected from humanity. The extraordinary power of this world, although not much different from ordinary humans in appearance, the brutal and bloody aura, as well as the surging blood flow inside the body. In the perception of the monkey Flying Sun Slash, there is already a certain degree of threat. It's probably a chi machine at the level of moderate tolerance. And, still rising rapidly. Is it because I ate so much flesh and blood? The monkey Flying Sun Slash estimated the strength of the fire's shadow world, but specifically, we still need to test it firsthand. As he spoke, the monkey Flying Sun Slash instantly disappeared into place. What? The ogre in front of him suddenly lost his human form and couldn't help but be taken aback. Bang! Chakra suddenly erupted on the evil ghost's cheek, with a tremendous force far exceeding that of an ordinary person, instantly knocking it away. The shattered stones and smoke lifted up on the cliff, engulfing the figure of the evil ghost. But Ape Flying Sun Slash's gaze did not focus on the front, instead he slightly turned sideways and, with astonishing combat judgment, avoided the sharp claws with a bloody smell. The cold claw wind slightly pricked the cheek of the monkey Flying Sun's chopping, and it was within reach. But at this moment, his expression was quite calm. Or rather, some dormant combat instinct in the body is rapidly awakening. Even a long career in Hokage office cannot erase the memories of dancing on the battlefield. This is the terrifying aspect of the ninja profession. Follow up on reading, new readers seek to follow up on new books, end of this chapter. Chapter 7. The Devil of Evolution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. The Devil of Evolution, Wood Leaves. The monkey Flying Sun Slash was engulfed in a burning blue chakra, and the power bestowed by the chakra gave his aging body an astonishing explosive power. Power Whirlwind. Bang! The evil ghost, with its limp figure, was hit right in the abdomen and repelled at an astonishing speed. Rolling on the flat ground for dozens of meters before stopping. Cough. Humans. The evil ghost looked at the elderly person in front of him with a mouth full of blood and surprise. How did you do it? Such power, are you also a ghost? The fact that human power can be above it is extremely frightening, which is completely different from the past when it slaughtered humans. Ape Flying Sun Slash had no intention of talking to this monster, but quietly observed the process of the demon's rapid recovery. Just now, a whirlwind of wooden leaves kicked the spine of the evil spirit through its soft abdomen. As soon as the evil ghost spoke, its bones began to wriggle eerily. In just a moment, the injuries that were absolutely incurable for humans were completely healed. Old man, your silent demeanor. It's very similar to those guys who specialize in killing ghosts. But your luck isn't very good today. The evil ghost slowly stood up, and after restoring its spine, its bones did not stop wriggling. The skin on its back undulated, as if something was about to grow out. I ate a lot of people today. Power. It's about to expand out. The monkey Flying Sun Slash's gaze changed slightly, can evolve through cannibalism. And there are also super strong physical functions and regenerative abilities. Is this the so-called entry for immortality in this world? Seeing this, Ape Flying Sun Slash couldn't help but have a slight hint of disgust in his eyes. If it were such immortality, he would rather not. Not to mention the side effects and prospects of becoming a demon, the fact that he eats people alone makes Ape Flying Sun Slayer feel a bit nauseous. In the disdainful gaze of the monkey Flying Sun Slayer, the demon's back constantly swelled, growing a pair of arms full of bone spurs, with an extra ferocious and terrifying appearance. Being able to see my evolution. You should feel honored. Humans. The ferocious face of the evil ghost twisted again, with the corners of its mouth almost cracking to the roots of its ears, and the pupils in its eyes contracting to the extreme. Immediately after, 4 arms crazily grew out, cutting through the air at an extremely fast speed and attacking towards the Ape Flying Sun Slash. Although the monkey Flying Sun Slash exhibits a flexibility that does not match its appearance, it evades attacks from all sides in mid-air with an extremely agile posture. Originally, the monkey Flying Sun Slash could easily be dodged, but for some purpose, its body deliberately hesitated for a moment. The evil ghost's arm circled in the air, and its sharp claws slashed open the arm of the monkey Flying Sun Slayer, sprinkling small drops of blood. Elu. The evil ghost withdrew its extended arm and licked the blood between its fingers. The evil ghost seemed to have tasted some unparalleled delicacy, and his expression became visibly excited. To obtain, I must get you. What a delicious body. A burst of laughter and tears erupted, and the evil ghost's figure transformed into a shadow, approaching the position of the monkey Flying Sun Slash at an almost invisible speed. The 4 arms spread out like spiders hunting, blocking all the escape routes of the monkey Flying Sun Slayer. Being able to evolve additional organs. I'm also very interested in the body that contains chakras. Ape Flying Sun Slash faced the fierce demon and calmly analyzed various intelligence about the demon in his mind. After swallowing a large amount of flesh and blood. In terms of physical ability, one can reach a level close to upper endurance. Even regenerative ability and vitality are non-human levels. Just. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked calmly at the ferocious face of the demon that was already within reach. Compared to ninjas, the combat methods are still too simplistic. In the excited expression of the evil ghost, its sharp claws pierced through the chest of Ape Flying Sun Slash. The evil ghost was stunned on the spot. It was not a sensation that penetrated the body at all, and not even a drop of blood flowed out. Tu dun, tu fun shen, the steady sound of the monkey Flying Sun Slash slowly came, and the monkey Flying Sun Slash in front of the evil ghost turned into a puddle of mud and water overflowing. And then the evil ghost felt an irresistible gravitational force beneath his feet sinking his body straight down. The ground envelopes the body of the evil ghost like flowing water. Instead, the monkey Flying Sun Slash's true body slowly rises from the ground. Tu dun. Heart beheading technique. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the head of the evil ghost struggling on the ground and said in his mouth. Useless, I specifically reinforced the ground near you with hardening techniques. The strength of granite. Even if you evolve a few more times, you won't be able to break free. This is the reason why ninjutsu dominates in the ninja world, while physique is just an addition. Because as long as the nature changes proficiently, or the secret techniques are learned, the intensity of ninjutsu can be easily enhanced, reaching a level that scientists are amazed by. The strength of the body has its limits and requires an extremely long period of exercise. As a ninjutsu doctor, Monkey Flying Sun Slash has countless ways to kill pure physical warriors. So, Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the ferocious and roaring face of the evil ghost under his feet, bang. As the world waves down, the head of the evil ghost explodes like a watermelon falling to the ground. But the shattered skull fragments did not die, but rather approached the body buried deep underground as if it had its own life. In just a few tens of seconds, the evil ghost that was originally beheaded had already returned to its original state. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash, with a research mindset, immediately used the 4 escapes besides the earth escape to destroy the bodies of the evil spirits one by one. In the end, except for the fire escape that caused the evil spirits to scream for a little longer, it didn't have much effect. The evil ghost eventually recovered from his injuries at an extremely fast pace, as if nothing had happened. Ignoring the rampant clamor of evil spirits, Ape Flying Sun Slayer sighed. What a terrifying vitality. Just this level of cannibalism can achieve almost indestructible vitality. The vast majority of so-called vampires cannot achieve this, right? It seems that the time travel entry was indeed chosen correctly. Under such strong survivability, immortality is actually an added bonus. Monkey Flying Sun Slash squatted down and looked at the evil ghost in front of him, so let's talk about it. Who created monsters like you? The answer to the Monkey Flying Sun Slash is a curse and clamor full of malicious and vulgar language. Lousy. Kill The Monkey Flying Sun Slash's expression remained unchanged, and he pinched the seal with one hand. It seems that you don't shed tears until you see the coffin, this guy. Foam done, wind blade. The sharp air blade roared out, but the direction of its slash was not evil spirits, but rather the dense vegetation above the valley. The wind blade whistled past, cutting a gap in the dense vegetation between the valleys. The sunlight on top of my head shone through the gap and onto the head of the evil ghost. Newcomers are looking for new books to follow up on. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Weaknesses. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Weaknesses. Thorny. Like burning oil, the skin and head of the evil ghost began to melt rapidly under the sunlight. The evil spirits that cannot even be eliminated by ninjutsu are fragile like snow water in the sunlight, and their regenerative ability is easily suppressed. The originally arrogant demon also let out a scream of fear and pain. No. No. I said. It's Lord Wu Yen. I was created by Lord Wu Yen. Upon hearing the familiar words, Monkey Flying Sun Slash immediately narrowed his eyes. Is that so? Apart from not aligning with the timeline, the characteristics of the evil spirits in front of us, the evolution of cannibalism, immortality, and fear of sunlight all perfectly match the characteristics of that world in the memory of the Monkey Flying Sun Slayer. The Blade of Ghost Destruction. The reason why the evil spirits in front of us can move during the day depends entirely on the special terrain of this valley, which is almost devoid of sunlight. The timeline is a bit too early. 400 years earlier. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the evil ghost still screaming in agony and estimated in his heart. It seems that Wu Yen has not yet been completely devastated by the violent man who descended from that day. Even the name can be directly called by subordinates ghosts. Isn't it imprisoned in the bloodline? I didn't think there was anything bad about this time point when the Monkey Flying Sun was slain. On the contrary, in this timeline, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash can appreciate the divine-like character, comparable to the charm of the 6 immortals. Ji Guiyuan Yi. A glimmer of anticipation rose in the heart of Monkey Flying Sun Slash. In his opinion, it is unlikely to become a ghost and pursue immortality. Even if it solves the problems of sunlight and cannibalism, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash is not very attractive. After all, Goe Mia is just a 2-star world, and judging from the performance of Goe Wu Suji's combat power, it cannot match the shadow of a village in the Hokage world. There are many opportunities for monkey flying and sun slaying, so there is no need to confine one's bloodline in a mere 2-star world. In contrast, Ape Flying Sun Slash is more eager to communicate with talented individuals like Ji Guiyuan. After all, it was the first generation who had cut Wu Yen down and lost his heart. I have the ability to create breathing techniques from scratch, but I cherish them too much. Monkey Flying Sun Slash thought and took a step forward, just in time to block the sunlight shining on the evil ghost's head. The evil ghost suddenly stopped screaming, just panting heavily, but the super strong vitality allowed the evil spirits to start regenerating again, but due to the influence of the sun, the speed of their regeneration slowed down a lot this time. If I don't become a ghost myself. Ghosts are quite superior creatures. Ape Flying Sun Slash admired the ghost's stronger vitality than Wolverine, and praised it in his heart. Congratulations on surviving now. The expression of Monkey Flying Sun Slash was playful and a hint of imperceptible fanaticism. However, they will live as if lying on the test bench. After all, as a ninja doctor, it's normal to see interesting things and study them. The island countries of this world are in an extremely backward ancient period. The main and small roads are extremely rugged. Only the official road is slightly smoother, making it the first choice for caravans and armies to pass by. There is now a grand caravan on the official road, led by several tall horses, followed by a considerable amount of heavy load. It can be seen that its scale is not small. The sky is getting dark. Tell the people behind you to stay in place. There is still some distance from Kyoto. In the caravan, a middle-aged man dressed in brocade with a shrewd and resolute expression gave orders to the side. Surrounded by an elderly butler and a young daughter. After the elderly butler responded, he instructed the convoy behind to stay in place and rest, and to take turns guarding. After the butler left, the middle-aged man let out a light sigh, feeling physically and mentally exhausted all the way. As the head of a commercial family, if it weren't for the chaotic world making it increasingly difficult for the caravan to walk, and the lack of trusted members within the clan, he wouldn't have personally stepped on the stage. In fact, in this era of rampant unjust wars, running a business is quite unsafe. Not only are there wild beasts in the mountains and forests, but also real or fake robbers who come to rob the official road. If it were true robbers, it would be better. Most of the true robbers are desperate civilians, gathered together with only a few broken knives, a few farm tools, and their bodies are mostly thin and weak. For lightly armed caravans, it is not a threat at all. And the most difficult part is the fake robbers, who are actually soldiers. Most of them are composed of wandering samurai and soldiers, and some are even local family private soldiers. They are well trained and ruthless, without any concern for the impact of robbing the Dao. But thinking of this, the middle-aged man remembered something and said solemnly to the girl dressed elegantly beside him. "Heezy. Why don't you go wash yourself up? Dress up cleanly and go send food to the monkey flying lord." The girl named Heezy felt a chill in her heart as she understood her father's meaning, but there was no unexpected emotion in my heart, because clinging to the strong is already the destination of women in this era. And the monkey flying man mentioned by his father was the ninja man he met on the road, at a slightly older age but with almost incredible skills. With just a few punches and 2 kicks, a group of over 30 private soldiers were dispersed to help the caravan break free. It was also because of this incident that middle-aged people respectfully invited the monkey flying man in as the highest level offering in the caravan. "Yes, father." Heezy bowed slightly and saluted with an elegant expression, clearly undergoing rigorous training in Yamato Fuzi. "I don't know if the monkey flying man is from the legend." The middle-aged man frowned slightly and quickly interrupted Heezy's speculation. "Be cautious. This is not something we should know how to discuss. If these strong individuals can climb up, it's good. If they can't form a good relationship, it's also a good thing. We are just ordinary merchants and don't need to participate in those chaos. As the leader of a family, middle-aged people still have wisdom. While it is good to cling to the strong, they are often equated with trouble. As for the identity of the monkey flying man mentioned by Hezi, the middle-aged person holds a negative attitude. Because the monkey flying lord in front of me is quite old and doesn't look like the warrior under the famous Xintian family. But no matter what, his exceptional skills cannot be faked, and the skills he displays alone have the ability to defeat 100 soldiers. In any ancient country or clan, this was a skill sufficient to confer titles of marquis and general. Yes. Father. Hezi nodded and stopped speaking, only feeling slightly nervous about the next thing. I don't know if that adult will like a woman like her. On the other side, in the independent tent, the oil lamps were shining brightly. The figure of the monkey flying sun slayer stood tall among them, while on the wooden table in front of him, a ghost with 4 arms and teeth and claws was tightly bound to it. Please follow up. Follow up. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Experiments on Ghosts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Experiments on Ghosts. Of course, ordinary ropes cannot help but be possessed by demons with extraordinary physical abilities, so the monkey flying sun slash used a wooden leaf-like chain to pierce through its pipa bone, and also applied many sealing techniques inside its body. Along the way, the monkey flying sun slaying did not idle, but conducted in-depth experiments and observations on creatures like ghosts. After transforming from humans to ghosts, all cellular structures in the body are almost completely mutated. Transformed into cellular components similar to blood has almost unlimited regenerative ability. Like cancer cells. Ape Flying Sun Slash's gaze was deep, as if he had seen through the body of the 4-handed ghost in front of him and saw the structure inside. So its form is no longer limited to human form, but can instead grow freely in any organ like a tumor. Of course, this is impossible for the 4-handed ghost in front of us. Because the blood concentration of the ancestors' ancestors in the body, which is also known as Wu Yan, blood, is too low. Reaching this level is almost the limit. Unless Wu Yan is willing to give the 4-handed ghost more original blood in his body, the higher the concentration of the original blood in the ghost's body, the deeper the degree of cellular variation. The stronger the vitality, the stronger it becomes. Guiwu Suji can even independently create organs such as the brain and internal organs. Although ghosts are far less powerful than ninjas in terms of combat power, they have vitality and a variety of life forms that ninjas cannot achieve. It's also funny to say that Orochimaru pursues something for a lifetime, and this ghost can easily achieve it. The monkey flying sun slash feels a bit magical. This is the magic of the diverse world. In one world, things are extremely difficult, but in another world, they are like searching for something. However, even if ghosts set aside the fatal weakness of sunlight, they cannot truly remain immortal. At least measured by the vitality inside these 4-handed ghosts' bodies, it will only take a few hundred years, and they will also fall into the state of aging. At this moment, Ape Flying Sun Slash's hands were emitting a green glow of medical ninjutsu, exploring the vitality inside the ghost's body. Even the ghost dance Suji has a concept of lifespan. Could it be 10,000 years or 100,000 years? Pau, suddenly, a sound as if a balloon had been punctured sounded, causing Ape Flying Sun to shift his gaze from a 4-handed ghost to another wooden table. Above is a robust human male corpse. Of course, he was still alive in the previous second. At this second, the heart exploded like a balloon being punctured. Still failed. This chaotic world experiment should not have too many materials. It can be said to be a paradise for human experimentation. Ape Flying Sun Slash selected a few enthusiastic soldiers who shone their swords at him and placed them all on the experimental platform, injecting ghost blood. Although it was a failure, there was no hint of disappointment or surprise on the face of the Monkey Flying Sun Slayer. Sure enough, the level of the four-handed ghost in front of me is still too low. He was not given the ability to infect people and turn them into ghosts by Tsuji Kami. Although it may seem despicable, I am not a fool. I know the truth that we cannot fish for all we have. If every ghost has the ability to infect, too many infected ghosts will eat humans clean. Isn't it that Wu Yen himself is going to starve to death? The Monkey Flying Sun Slash had a conjecture in his heart, unless allowed by Tsuji Kami, an infected ghost cannot infect others. That is to say, Ape Flying Sun Slash has uncovered the truth about creatures like ghosts. Ghosts are not actually a biological population like vampires. Or rather, ghosts do not have the concept of biological populations. Even the relationship between Tsuji no Tsuji and the other ghosts is not between the mother and the child. Essentially, there is only one collection of ghosts in the world, and that is no tragedy for Tsuji Kami. And the rest of the ghosts are all products of Tsuji no Kami and the original blood in his body. So, it is only through the control of the ghosts under his command that Guewu Tsuji has reached such an extreme level. Manipulate thinking, limit contagion, and set genetic limitations. Thinking of this, Ape Flying Sun Slash's growing resistance to becoming a ghost, no matter how powerful we are as humans. If you become a ghost, you are destined to be enslaved and even parasitized by Tsuji no Kami. Not only life and death, but even thinking won't belong to you. But this situation is not without exception in the world of Ghost Slayer Blade. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash's eyes sparkled with brilliance, unless. Suddenly, a beautiful female voice with a hint of immaturity came from outside the tent. Monkey Flying Lord. The sky is getting dark. We have prepared food for you. Monkey Flying Sun Slash remembers that this girl is the daughter of the leader of the caravan. Put them all at the door, right? The Monkey Flying Sun Slash commanded casually. We have also prepared hot water for you. May I know if it's convenient for you to let me in and serve you? Heezy's voice rang out again, this time with a hint of ambiguity and seduction. Then come in. A calm voice sounded, this time agreeing with Heezy's opinion. When Heezy and the servant behind him carried water and food inside, the tent where the Monkey Flying Sun beheaded was already empty. There is no trace of the four-handed ghost and the test object just now. Your Excellency. Heezy slowly bowed, and the broad kimono vaguely outlined an enticing curve. Monkey Flying Sun Slash's expression remained unchanged, his hands spread out, gesturing for Heezy to change his clothes and bathe for him. The reason why he agreed to let Heezy in was because he had been on the road these days since entering the Blade of Ghost Destruction and had not been washed up. This makes it difficult for his modern soul inside to accept. Seeing the familiar appearance of being served by the Monkey Flying Sun Slayer, Heezy's eyes were full of brilliance, and his heart became even more convinced of the extraordinary identity of this Monkey Flying Lord. In fact, the identity of Ape Flying Sun Slayer is extraordinary. In the world of Hokage, whether he is the leader of the Ape Flying clan or the leader of the Wood Leaf, he leads a life of being a servant. After bathing, Monkey Flying Sun Slash began to eat. Although carrying enough military rations, who can eat that kind of food seriously? Although the food presented in front of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash is not abundant, nothing can be demanded in this small country. After all, the current emperor of Japan is just gnawing on salted fish every day. And Heezy, behind the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, massaged it with both light and heavy force. Monkey Flying Lord. Are you a samurai from the Sanada family? Heezy was still too young, unable to resist her curiosity and couldn't help but ask directly. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash was a bit funny upon hearing this. He only left the surname of the Monkey Flying, but it made these guys imagine it vividly. However, there is nothing we can do about it. In this era, the reputation of the surname Jintian cannot be matched even by a daimyo. Meanwhile, Sasuke Yukichi was the top-ranked warrior under the Sanada family, and in legitimate history, he was a ninja of the Kaga clan. Even when the Abe later painted the world of Hokage, he was influenced by it to create the character of Monkey Flying Sun Slayer. So the Monkey Flying Sun Slash really has some connection with Sanada. Pursue reading. If you don't pursue reading, you'll die. Please, end of this chapter. Chapter 10. Magnetic Field Like the Sun. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Magnetic field like the sun, some connections, right? But not much. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash is very honest, yeah. In Heezy's opinion, the answer from Ape Flying Sun Slash was undoubtedly affirmative, as the adult in front of him had a quite extraordinary identity. As Heezy's thoughts surged, the massage force in her hands gradually became gentle, and the effective area of the massage continued to expand. Monkey Flying Sun Slash felt his warm and fragrant hands wandering on his body, and his mood became more calm and relaxed, accompanied by ripples. Although the physical body of the Monkey Flying Sun Slayer is older, he is still a young man in soul. Moreover, the hardware of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash is also old and sturdy, and the physical fitness of ninjas far exceeds that of ordinary people. Otherwise, they would not be able to grow old trees and bloom, and later gave birth to the monkey flying asthma. As the saying goes, when the atmosphere arrived, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash was not affected, and the lights inside the tent suddenly went out. Because it has already arrived around the Kyoto area, Ape Flying Sun Slash is not in a hurry about its purpose. But instead of refining chakras in the caravan during the day and studying ninjutsu, at night, we study the mysteries of ghosts and the human body. After driving for several more days, the caravan finally reached the boundaries of Kyoto. In the reluctant gaze of Heezy, Ape Flying Sun Cut refused the goods of the caravan leader and got off the car directly. The extraordinary world will ultimately not be parallel to ordinary people. Has it finally arrived? Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the bustling small town in front of him, looked up and down, and suddenly discovered that there were considerable security forces around the town. Many guards wielding swords and bows patrol, appearing to be heavily guarded. More eye-catching is that purple vine flowers are grown everywhere here, forming a beautiful scenery. And this is also the destination of the Monkey Flying Sun Slash these days. The location of the ghost-killing team is in a small town in the surrounding area of Kyoto. Of course, the location of the ghost-killing team as an underground secret organization cannot be easily obtained. The members of the ghost-killing team did not have breathing techniques in this era, which were indistinguishable from ordinary people. However, the family of the Chanwu Fu has always been a prominent family in this country. Since the beginning of the No Tragedy of the Ghost Dance Suji, he has been a wealthy tribe. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash was found along the production line of the house. Otherwise, we cannot rely on our own efforts to support so many members of the ghost-killing team who do not engage in production. The people in the caravan are also aware of this wealthy, noble, and mysterious family of the wealthy and noble, who have inexplicable connections with the witches of the upper echelons of the country. It is said that the Chan Yufu clan has the bloodline of a deity. Just in recent decades, it has become unusually low-key, even the family's territory has moved from bustling Kyoto to this relatively remote area. An Ape Flying Sun Slash does know, the birth of the Chanwu Fu clan is indeed due to the curse on their bloodline, and every child born in Chanwu Fu will not live to be 30 years old. So I started to keep a low profile. The curse that extends to the bloodline. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash pondered with great interest, what is radiation in the physical sense? Is it a curse in a supernatural and magical sense? However, as far as Monkey Flying Sun Slash knows, there are still some hidden divine and magical powers in this world. But by the way, I've been fighting with Wu Yen for so many years. Why haven't people from the House of Property and Housing clan thought about joining if they can't beat it? Would it be more interesting to have a bloodline that has been cursed with no tragedy, and then become a ghost? Monkey Flying Sun Slash thought and walked to the entrance of the small town, watching the bright wisteria flowers blooming at the door. It seems that the ghost-killing team is not without achievements. At least discovered the damage of wisteria flowers to ghosts, so as to protect the headquarters from being invaded by ghosts. As for the Sun Will Blade Ape's Flying and Sun Cutting estimate, I guess it won't be invented until after Chajinla 1. Uncle. A clear and youthful voice suddenly rang out from behind. The voice was gentle and polite, but it made Ape Flying Sun Jiansheng feel no comfort at all. On the contrary, some deep-seated intuitive vigilance spread within the heart of Ape Flying Sun Slayer. The chakra inside the Ape Flying Sun Slash instantly boiled to the extreme and turned around with a solemn expression. I saw a young man with deep facial features and a handsome face, standing in front of the Monkey Flying Sun Slayer with a friendly and cheerful smile. And the most eye-catching thing is that the handsome man in front of him has a flame-like pattern on his forehead, which not only does not make the man in front of him appear strange, but also, instead, it adds a touch of mystery and heroism. Sir. The young man wore a gentle smile on his face, like a newborn sun, and immediately melted all the guard in Ape Flying Sun Slayer's heart. Are you a member of the ghost-killing team? Ape Flying Sun Slash's expression remained unchanged, and the extraordinary power in his body kept him as calm as possible. No. But our goals should be the same. I'm also here to find the ghost-killing team. Speaking. How do you think I'm a member of the ghost-killing team? Monkey Flying Sun Slash asked. Because you are very strong. The young man's expression was quite serious, with a look of admiration. I feel like if I move my hand, it's completely different from my opponent's appearance. Ape Flying Sun Slash heard the words, but the corners of his mouth twitched, his expression unusually strange. Yeah. Speaking of which, when it comes to using my hand, it's probably me who's not my opponent, right? Ji Guiyuan Yi, the Monkey Flying Sun Slash naturally recognized the young man's identity at the moment he saw him. In this two-star world, there are only a few people who can pose a threat to the Monkey Flying Sun Slash, and combined with the appearance of the youth, the identity of the man in front of him is even more obvious. This kind of magnetic field is like the rising sun. It doesn't seem like something that only humans can possess. Ape Flying Sun Slash looked at the young man in front of him with a demeanor like a big sun, a calm and gentle expression, such a temperament and magnetic field. Just being on the side, one can be influenced by such a force, and even their mood and body unconsciously warm up. This reminded him of the man who also carried the destiny of heaven and the son of gods. In the distant memories of the Monkey Flying Sun, there is also such a person. Is it the same as between the 1,000-handed pillars? Ji Guiyuan also carries a certain level of transcendence beyond ordinary people. The realm of gods, the sole power that can be convincing with just momentum and magnetic field, the realm of the gods mentioned by the Monkey Flying Sun Slash is not the true power of the gods, but rather the complete unity of one's own will and strength, achieving the ability to have a clear mind and influence others. Simply put, it means reaching the realm of verbal evasion, where just a mouthful cannon can change the will and values of people around you and even enemies. Fortunately, this is just a two-star world. Otherwise, if I encounter this kind of guy somewhere else, then I must be the first to escape. The Monkey Flying Sun Slash has lingering palpitations in its heart. This kind of person who is clear-minded and divine often exists in various worlds as the son of fate and the biological son of the world. It's all about using cheats, GMs, and various unreasonable ways to enhance one's strength. Please follow up. Requesting tickets. End of this chapter.